Hey guys, it's Hands On and today we're going to be looking at the Asphalt Injection for the PlayStation Vita. But before we begin, feel free to drop a like and consider subscribing if you love everything and anything PlayStation Vita. So let's begin. Asphalt Injection is an arcade racer developed by Gameloft and published by Konami. It was released in 2012 and it is actually a famous racing series more popular on the mobile devices. So let's see how the PlayStation Vita's version of Asphalt holds up in 2020 and is it worth a buy. Let's begin by talking about graphics. Now the game doesn't look bad, but you can definitely tell that it's an older title. The car models look good, the stages are well lit and diverse, but where you start to cringe just a little is when you crash. That is when you can literally say this game looks a little bit terrible, but from my point of view, ignoring the bad animation for the crashes, it doesn't look that bad. Just keep in mind, this is an old game. Now, we are talking about a racing game, so we have to talk about music, because nothing gets us more pumped up about barely making second place than a good track. Although this game doesn't have signature music like Need for Speed, it does have good enough instrumental music to keep you occupied. However, there is an announcer in the game who gives little highlights of the race, and for the first hour, she isn't too bad, but when you hit the 3-hour mark, she starts to get to you. Well, that's my personal opinion. You all may actually find her commentary actually really good, but I think the instrumental tracks are a good way to keep you occupied while driving, and if you can drown out the announcer, you'll find that the game does pretty well in the audio department. So you're probably asking yourself, is there a story mode in this game? Well, there isn't, but what we do have is leagues that we play through to progress and unlock cars and car parts, and there is a lot of leagues to keep you occupied, so I think you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck if you buy this game solely to play single player. We will talk about online a little later in the review, but as for content for single players, there's definitely a good bit to keep you playing for hours and maybe days depending on how you play. Well, let's talk about controls, because honestly a game can look how good if the controls are nonsense, then that just breaks the game. And this game feels like a really competent arcade racer. There's not much to complain about. You drift, you accelerate just as any racing game, so it's easy to pick up and play in that regard. I should however use this time to mention that this game suffers really bad from rubber banding in the race. That just means that don't matter how much you are in a lead, the AI cars will always catch up to you. Now that really sucks for me, but maybe you're the person who enjoys always having racers on your heels. So I'd say the rubber banding may be a good or bad thing depending on what type of person or racer you are. Now let me touch on the online before I wrap up. There isn't much people playing online currently, but you will find someone if you look hard enough. I mainly got matches in the night and the online ran pretty smooth. Hopefully you'd be able to get lucky as I did. Overall guys, Asphalt may feel dated and a little rough when compared to Need for Speed for the PlayStation Vita, but if you go in with an open mind, you'd find some good fun despite its shortcomings and rough graphics. I'd definitely recommend it to anyone looking to add a new racing game to their PS Vita collection. So guys, I want to hear from you. Do you think this game is fun? Do you prefer playing Asphalt on your phone? And if you want someone to play online with, feel free to drop your PSN ID down below. Anyways guys, that's it for me today. Stay safe and happy gaming guys.